Hello, thank you so much for coming on back. We have our second tutorial in our Sweet Symmetry bundle suite of tutorials. This next one is called Round Slide Closure Card. All right, so grab your tutorial, your items that you're going to want for the second project, and let's get started. Okay, so here is the supply list for this second one. This is how it looks in real life, I guess you'd say. This just pulls out and then it opens up, okay? And so what happens is this has a little closure, and this closure slides up and down, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. It's kind of fun, something a little different. And this sentiment down here, I just have adhered on the left side so that it can open up and doesn't catch on anything. Just make sure when you close it that you don't accidentally put it on the inside. Okay. All right. So we are going to have you grab your supplies for this second one, and in here you should have the main base is our Flirty Flamingo cardstock. It's cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 2 1/8 inch in from each short end. So you would score that. It should, a lot of you, if you have the kit, then it came that way, but you would score with your bone folder. It's nice to do a nice good press on those lines here. Get it nice and crisp. That really makes a difference on how your project comes out. So then you're also going to need, I'm moving everything around here accidentally. All right, so you're also going to need a piece of white that's going to go on the inside, and this is the basic white 4 by 5 1/4. Then you have a 3/4 by 2 inch strip here to put a sentiment on, and that's for the inside. We have a piece of our designer series paper from our Sweet Symmetry set, and this is 3 3/4 by 5. And we're just going to cut this down the center. We also need a scallop edge piece of the designer series paper. This one I cut out is about 2.5 inches in diameter, and you're also going to want 2 other pieces of round cut like so. And actually I think I had 3. Okay, so you're going to need one of the DSP cut with the scalloped edge, and one of the same exact size. It's going to cover it up in the back. Flirty Flamingo with the same scalloped edge. Then a little bit smaller. So this has a smooth edge circle. This is about roughly 2 3/8 of an inch. You will be using 2 of these, and they're going to go on the back. All right, so that is the paper for that. Then we also have, here's another inside sentiment piece. I have a feeling, 1/2 by 4 1/8. These the same. 2 different pieces for sentiments. Okay. So then we have also, I have 3 of these jewel gem things that we're going to be decorating with. And this one comes from the Elegant Faceted Gems set. It's got a little bit of a color to it, almost like a little bit of a light pink. Okay, so I don't lose that. I'm going to put it back in this envelope. And then it also comes with some of the baker's twine, the white. And we have roughly, what do we have? About 10 inches or so for a bow. All right, so let's get going. We need to do some stamping. I usually try to do that first. We have sentiments, and then we have an actual, like a flower, which will be our focal point for this card. Okay. So we want to stamp right on this DSP, and I'm going to use Night of Navy, and I'm going to actually show you how I use my stamp apparatus. And this is a tool that is so handy because you get really, really good results. And you'll see what I mean. The purpose of using a tool like this is that you can stamp the image more than once, and that is helpful if you have something that tends to maybe not, if the image doesn't get nice and bold, if you want it just to be super strong, super, I don't know, just very well done and stark, then this is a great way to do it. And since this is the focal point of my project, I do want it to really stand out and be nice and crisp. So I'm just putting a teeny titch of this removable tape and magnet down because I don't want anything to move. And then we're going to kind of decide where we want this. Let's say I just want it just kind of barely fits on there, but that's okay. I'm going to get it right to the edges, like so. All right, and that's going to be in our Night of Navy, and I'm just pressing this down, and it's going to lift it up. And as long as I can make sure it doesn't, the stamp isn't going to lift up my project. There we go. So you can see it's going to go right where I want that to go. And I'm going to ink up. I'm going to maybe have to go out a little bit here. So you can see the door has it right here. My stamp is right there. I'm going to ink it up in the Night of Navy, and I can ink it up really well, and then if I need to go back and do it again, I can. And like I can tell there's something on there. There was something on my stamp that I didn't get cleaned off last time, so I just kind of try to get rid of that. And let's see how this first image comes out. I can get a gentle push down here. If you go too hard, then you have a risk of getting it like little moon shadowy types on there. Now I think I have, again, I maybe had gotten some lint or something on there. Probably the last time I cleaned it, I didn't use my chamois, and the chamois that I use is nice because it doesn't have lint on it. So, ooh, okay, I'm losing stuff, sorry. So if I get in a hurry, I sometimes just grab these, right? Like just a wipe if I'm trying to go fast. And then I regret it because it leaves a little lint, a little bit of lint on my stamp. And that's what I ended up getting on there. You can still see it on there, kind of. So there's a little bit of lint on there yet. So that's why using our chamois is so much better. But I am going to make sure it's dry, and I'm going to give it a little, like one more stamp and see, because it didn't fill in the best right here. But, oh, there's still lint on there. I can always use like a blend marker that's the same color to do the same thing as well. And then if I'm not getting the image the way I want it, but I really want a nice deep, there you go. That's what I want. A nice, clear, intense image, nice lines in there that didn't get filled in. So that is that image stamped, and then we need to do the leaves next. I have to find my chamois. I don't know where I put it, so otherwise I would be cleaning everything off of that. So we are done with this one, and now I am going to do those leaves. And the leaves, I've decided just to do them in Just Jade. That is the same color that is in this project. In a lot of the DSP and that kind of thing, so it all coordinates together. I think I have lint on this as well. Naughty, naughty. So I'm going to kind of put it to the bottom about as far as I can and still have it be on there. Okay, it wants to lift up. And I'm going to get this tape back on there a little bit more. It's barely on there, but in fact, I might move it because that's kind of where I'm stamping. So let's just make sure it's still where it belongs. Yep, that should be good. All right, so Just Jade is going to get put onto this leaf, the leaves here. And I'm using that Stamparatus. You don't have to. Obviously, if you don't have one, it's not a problem. You can still get good results without it. But I just like to have that insurance that I know I can double stamp it if I need to. That'll give me a nice clear image. And that one's done. And now the only other stamping are sentiments. And you can use whatever stamp set you have for your sentiments. You can use some that come with this same stamp set. You can substitute any of them that you want. I got to show you one thing I do, and that is I have, there's one set, and it's called Many Messages Stamp Set, and there's a set of dies that comes with it. And what you can do is it has a sheet of, I don't know how many different stamps on it, and you stamp it all at once, and then this die cuts them all out at once. So I just keep a little envelope with different colors in it that I can use on projects whenever. So your kindness means more than you could ever imagine. That would work, depending on what you want this for, of course. So you would pull out what you want for your sentiments on the front and on the inside. And you would want it, obviously, to coordinate the colors. So depending on if you happen to have the color you want and that kind of thing. And so with this one, your kindness, that would be more of a thank you probably. Wishing you a year, that would be good. So here's one that says wishing you a year of magical moments and wonderful memories. Or there's thank you for being you. Now there's sympathy, there's, oh God, there's a ton. Be strong, be brave, you've got this. That'd be cute too. Anyway, so I am just going to go, I'm going to not do the sentiments. I'm going to let you do that on your own because you pretty much probably know the best way or what you want for sentiments on your card. Okay, use whatever stamp set you have, and then you can go ahead and put that on your project on the front and the inside. I got to figure out what I did with my stem. Normally, I have a stem stamp that I use with this, but I don't know what I did with it. So it's so small. If I didn't stick it in the right spot, then it's easy to lose, unfortunately. Then we have the only other stamping we need to do is whatever we want on the inside of the card. And so whatever sentiment, like I had found one in there I thought would be good, you know, depending on what you want. But then I also just wanted to decorate it a little bit, and so I, on the sample here, I did stamp with those little, with a little flower, and that was in the regular set from your Symmetry. So you could take whatever you want for a little image. There's hearts, there's flowers, depending on what you have on the front. This one is similar to this one, so that's kind of why I'm using that. And I'm just kind of doing a random little stamping around on the inside just for a little decoration. You could do all the way down one side. You could do across the top in a couple of places. Whatever you would like to decorate that with. And I'm using the Flirty Flamingo. I don't know, yeah. You can use whatever color you prefer, but let's go ahead and stamp just wherever. And then I'm just going to adhere my sentiment over top of all of this. Oh, shoot. I think I'm going to need to put my sentiment right there where I put a little smear mark. So that'll work good. I'll just kind of, whatever my sentiment is, it'll go right there in the middle. Oh. If I'm not careful, that's what happens, but we all do it. Okay, so that's just adds a little interest for that. And now we need to make our little enclosure piece. Actually, yeah, I could actually just go ahead and adhere this on the inside while we're working on it too. Adhesive, you could use the liquid again, like I was showing you on the last one, but I think I'm going to just use my quick and easy stamp and seal. Again, use whatever you have. They all work, you know, any strong adhesive that you have will work well. I'm just going to center this there. Okay. And then we take, I have this piece of DSP that we have cut. It goes whichever way you prefer, but I am going to go ahead and just cut it right down the middle. The width of it is 3 3/4. So we want to get the trimmer back in here. Ooh. And I'm going to cut this down the middle. So we have, I hope I have this in a good spot for you. Okay, so we're going to cut this in the center. Like I said, it was 3 3/4. So we are going to go approximately, let's see. There's not going to be an exact center, but I'm going to just go ahead and crease it in the middle so I can pretty much get it close just by eyeing it that way. I'm going to turn it over so I can see that better. In fact, I'm going to make a little mark on there so I know exactly where it is that I want to cut it. And then it doesn't matter if my, you know, let's say you measure your DSP off just a little bit, then you don't have to worry about that. If you are just going by the size, then it might be off, but if I just go ahead and actually crease it in the middle, then I know that it's going to be cut right where I want it. You can see it did get right in the center. They're both the same size. Okay, whoops. Let's put this on the front. Let's see, which way did it go? Yeah, like that. So this goes on the gates, kind of. This is called a gatefold card, and these are kind of like our gate fronts here. So we can put some more seal on here. And it's very strong, so I don't have to worry about getting it on every little spot. And I just kind of want to go more towards the center. Normally you would center it in the middle of the panel, but I kind of made it go more to the inside, like so. And it keeps that border around here the same, even though it's almost to the edge here, and that's okay. That's how I wanted to do that. And we will do the same thing here with this side. Okay, pretty much have a mirror image of the other one, the other half. All right, there we go. There's our front, and here is our stamped image, and that is going to go, this will be behind it. And now we need to make our mechanism, I guess that's what you call it. It's the way to make it so that it'll slide up and down in that little front area. So what you're going to do is take 2 of your circles that are just the plain edged circles. They were a little bit smaller than your other, but they can be the exact same size, whatever you choose there. And I'm just folding them each in half. These are not going to show. You could use pretty much about any color. I mean, you might be able to see them a little bit if you're looking around in there, but for the most part, you won't see that. And you're going to be putting them with the folds, like these folded parts together like that. And they're going to go on the back of this stamped image, like, okay? So they're going to go on there. So it's going to be looking like this on the back. And so then let's do that. I'll start with this one here. I just want to make sure I don't have it like off this way or off this way. I kind of want to make sure that this stamped image is up, straight up and down pretty much. And so I am eyeballing that to make sure I'm keeping it pretty much straight up and down. And I do need to have it go right to the edge, like it should be okay, I hope. And then the other one should be able to just butt right up against this one. Okay, like that. Okay, see how that is? And then you can adhere this other one on the back so that it kind of hides that. And you can't really see that too much. So let's get that adhered. And it's the same size as the front. So you can kind of eyeball it and match up those scallops so that you can, you know, that it's exactly in the same spot. Like that. Okay. And then how this works, the two, this area that's divided, it's hard to explain it, but this is going to slip down with one side on each of the two different halves that are folded on the inside here. Okay, and it keeps it closed, which is cool, right? So it's a mechanism that keeps that closed, and it just slides up or down. Either way it should go. Okay, it went on easily. Let's get you back off now, guy. Oh yeah, there we go. Another way to do it if you want when you're putting it on is if you kind of open that up a little bit and put it here, then you can do the same and just kind of open that up and slide it, tuck it in like that. I like to slide it on at least the first time or two, make sure that it does it okay and the mechanism's working the way you want. Now all that we have left for this is to go ahead and decorate it up a little bit. Let's make a bow out of our baker's twine. How do you like my inky fingers? Oh my goodness, that didn't take long, did it? So for a bow, I just take it and make bunny ears is kind of what you think of. And then you cross it over, pull one of those through, and it didn't work. So we'll try it again. They're easier when you're not on camera. That's usually pretty much whenever somebody pulls out the camera, and you're trying to do a bow, that's when it doesn't work, but we'll make it work. There we are. Let's fuss with it a little bit. You always have to do that some and get it to the size and the tightness and the however you want that on there. That's plenty big. And then I like to adhere them always with my trusty adhesive mini glue dots. Is there any on this piece? I suppose not. Oh, I didn't tear any off. I thought I did. Okay, there we go. So I am going to put the little knot in the center, right on the center of a glue dot, and pull that off. And then you can kind of roll it around a little bit if you need to. Just kind of fold it up and over so it's not like showing outside of the bow. It just will kind of roll up a little, and you can kind of roll it up first and put it on if you'd rather do that. And I think my sample, I just kind of put it about here. This time I might move it. I think I'm going to put it there this time. And then we need to trim, of course. This is plenty long. I did not need it that long, but you can always cut it off. You can't put it back on. All right, so the next thing are our little adhesive pieces. I mean our little gems or whatever. Yeah, here they are. And so we usually do an odd number. I'm going to do 3 on this one. I'm going to do one just in the in the middle of our focal point there. Just kind of give that a little pop. And then the others can go wherever you would like. Now, go ahead and adhere your sentiment down on the bottom on the left half, whichever you want your sentiment to be. I'm not putting that on right now because that can just vary depending on what you need the card for. And I'm just kind of putting these wherever. There's no right or wrong with this, just wherever you want a little shininess and glimmer, I guess. All right, so there we are. Here you can also use, I'll show you what Wink of Stella is. It comes in this type of a tube, and what it has is this little bit of glimmer, shimmery kind of a highlight in there. So wherever you just kind of push this bulb, and then this glimmery, real shimmer touch can come out and go onto your project. I don't know if you can see this very well, but I'm going to hold it up. When I'm done putting it on, I'll bring it closer so you can kind of see. If you've never used Wink of Stella before, a warning, it's kind of addictive. I like have it on almost every project because I just love having that pop of shimmer. Usually maybe masculine cards or cards for sympathy cards, that kind of thing, are about the only time I don't use it. I might even put it here, a little bit of swish on the leaves. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just shows a little shimmer, so I'll show you. Okay, can you see that at all? Gosh, it's really hard to make that show up, but it's shimmery. And until it dries, it makes the ink look a little darker, but it's a little shimmer on there along with the little gemstones that are on it as well. And then you can do whatever else you want to decorate the inside. Put your sentiment on the inside here. You could put some Wink of Stella on the flowers, that kind of thing. And then you are done, and put your words on there, and you've got it exactly how you want it. A fun fold card here with a slider. You can do this with other shapes as well. And let's slide this back on, and then we'll be done with tutorial number 2. Alrighty, get in there. All right, pretty. Slide for me. There you go. Okay, there was card 2. Thank you guys. I'll be back with 3